Listen to this week. I'm going to listen to Senior Moments. That's a really good radio program. I wonder what they're going to talk about this week. They talk about everything. But we got to get it from the side. Really nice. Join us for our good time at 2 p.m. on Tuesday with your hosts, Millie and CC.
You are listening to Senior Moments on KUAW, Kansas City's global community radio station. Today, our subject is Getting Old is Not for Wimps. I usually start this show off with a quote, and I found a couple of quotes that really pertain to our subject. One of the quotes is by the famous comedian, now deceased Bob Hope. It said, "You know you are getting old when the candles cost more than the cake." Another one I found was by Mark Twain, and I thought this is really something that people do. It says, "You know you're getting old when your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look. It is a sure sign that you are getting older." Getting old is not easy. When you were younger, days passed, time passed so slow. As you get older, days pass quickly. You don't get nearly as much done. You wonder, where did your day go? When you were younger, you were able to shrug off ailments or aches and pains. Neither seem to last long. Now, ailments or aches and pains are more severe and last longer. Aching back, stiff knees, upset stomach, not regular. You know what I mean. Get that extra fiber in your diet, which leads up to being able to enjoy the foods you used to enjoy. As a child, I used to drink milk. As a senior, I'm lactose intolerant. As a child, I did not like vegetables, cottage cheese. I understand now that vegetables are good for you and they're good for my long-term health. The less cooked or less processed, the better. One thing I have to say, just let Dr. Oz say that it's good for you, and I will give it a try. Millie?
Oh, you know, CC, getting old is not for wimps. I tell you, when you turn 40, you slow down a little bit. When you turn 50, you slow down a lot more. Turn 60, oh, wow, you just really slow down. And don't say nothing about 70. Oh, you really slow down. And I tell you, growing old is not for wimps, because you try to exercise your bones, your muscles, and everything else hurt the next day.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it is really.
Can you remember when you used to exercise and run and get up and go, and then, you just shake it off, maybe take a shower, and you were ready to go again? Yes. Now when you exercise, hey, let me take a nap, and I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Not only that, you better not sit down too long. You're going to take a nap anyway. But, yeah, I was used to clean up my home, and I just could just go one thing after another, just could really do a lot of work and clean up the whole house. You could clean up the whole house within a couple of hours.
Move furniture and everything.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. The house wouldn't clean unless you moved your furniture.
That's true.
But, hey, my furniture been sitting the same way for a year or two.
I understand. Yeah, I can remember if you didn't dust underneath where the furniture was and get in the little spots.
Oh, yeah.
You hadn't done your job. And now my sentiment is, if it's dust underneath those legs, it ain't showing, so that's okay.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, you can't see it because you can't get down there.
You can't get down there to see it. That's true.
Yeah. So Growing old for wimps. I do like that subject because it's not an easy thing to do.
You know, I have another quote that I thought was really funny, and this one is by Phyllis Diller. It says, "Maybe it is true that life begins at 50, but everything else starts to wear out, fall out, or spread out." And that is so true. When I was younger, I didn't need a telephone book because I remember the numbers.
Yes.
Now I have to look up the numbers that I should already know. This includes my own telephone number, for instance. I have to look at the phone. Now, what is my phone number?
And you know what else? You used to just rattle off every friend, family member phone number. You better not lose that cell phone now.
Bet not. Bet not. I have timers to remind me to do things. Mm-hmm. I have quotations. I have dates. Yes. The cell phone and my planner. I have to write it down. When somebody tells me something, here, let me take just a minute and put it in my planner so I won't forget. Because if I don't put it in my planner, as soon as you tell me, it goes right in this ear and it comes right out this one.
And you know what I do? If I don't put it in my planner, and I've been doing that quite often, I make double, like my doctor's appointment, my hairdresser appointment, same time, same day, all that. And then you got to call them back and go, well, I got to change I double booked.
Yeah, you double booked it.
And so, yeah, it's just so many things that you take for granted.
Oh, yeah.
When you're younger.
Oh, yeah.
And you didn't have to do. But now you got to just think about everything you do and write it down. And sometimes you even go get in the car and start driving. And sometimes I think I'm coming one place, go to the grocery store. I'm going on my way to church.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to think about what you're doing.
Where I'm headed. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just...
And don't go to the grocery store without a grocery list.
No.
Because I had to make some copies, and I went to the library because I needed to look up some stuff and make some copies. Mm-hmm. And I made my list. And let me just say, to my credit, everything I had on my list, I made the copies of, but there were some things I forgot. So now I've got to go back to the library. And they say that memory is not affected by age, but I tend to disagree because
well, as young, I used to forget a few things. Right. It was just something minor. You think, wait until you get old, then you find out. Yeah, that's when you was younger. You used to forget a few things, but now you have to write it down.
Go in the kitchen to get something and forget when you get in the kitchen what you were going in the kitchen for.
Yes. and even when you write it down, sometimes you forget. I forget my list. I won't say you.
Oh, me too.
I forget my list. I said, now where's my list? I got to find it.
Oh, yeah. I have it in a couple of places, in my little planner, or I use my cell phone a lot. And, now anymore, when I go in my purse to see that I've had everything that I need to bring with me, I'm checking for my cell phone first because that's where all of my information is, grocery lists included. I'm checking for the cell phone because if I didn't put it on the cell phone, my second backup is the planner, but I'm looking for that cell phone.
Yes. And let me see, what do I have here? Age merely the number of years the world has been enjoying you. I said, okay, that's okay. And rats, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, senior moment. And at our age, rolling out of the bed in the morning is easy, but getting up off the floor is another story.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard to get used to the age that I am, because it's hard.
Getting old, I have some things that are associated with the getting old. Forgetting names. Mm-hmm. Groaning when you bend over.
Yes. Not only that, you groan when you get old, and then you have lumps and bumps and all this stuff, and then you don't even know where they come from.
I don't. I don't. Taking naps.
Mhm.
You know, it's nothing if I'm tired to just take a nap. Falling and sleep in front of the television instead of you looking at the TV's looking at you. um, you know, when you go someplace and they ask you for ID,
Mhm.
and my sentiment is, you know, they don't need it because you know for sure you look at least 21. But they're trying to be nice and make you feel good. Maybe that's Be Kind to Seniors Day.
And I have one. I have to exercise early in the morning before my brain figure out what I'm doing.
Okay. Here's another one: losing your hair.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then another one is choosing your clothes for comfort and not for style.
Oh my goodness, that is so true. That is so true. Because last night I was ushering and I wore the wrong shoes.
Okay.
I did a beeline to the car when service was over because my feet was hurting. And they was flat shoes.
Okay.
But hey, you have to worry about what shoe you wear.
Oh, sure. I don't wear heels just because I can't anymore. If I wear heels, I wouldn't last in them to start with.
Right.
And then because of my knees, if I wear heels, I wouldn't be able to walk. It would my knees would swell up so that I wouldn't be able to walk.
Okay.
And so, you know, that's another thing. Growing hair where you don't need it, you know, in your ears. You see people that have hair in the ears, and for the ladies on their lip and on their chin. And so another thing that you know when you're getting old is struggling to use technology.
Yes.
And let me just say, these young kids got it made. And let me say, I feel like I'm technologically literate, but I'm holding on with my nails just because I refuse to let technology leave me behind, because these young kids get it. And I think they're no smarter than I am. They might learn it a little bit faster, but I'm learning it just as well. And I have to keep refreshing my memory, but I'm just determined not to let technology leave me behind.
You know what I have here? I'm so glad. I am so thankful. I had a childhood before technology took over. My childhood took me outside. Their childhood keep them inside.
That's true.
And so I am happy that I got to grow up without technology. Just think the exercise that we got when we had to go outside and play and exercise. Now we got a lot of exercise when we was growing up, but the children today, they don't get any exercise.
You know,
so
I
how
attribute
is
that
they
to-
going to grow old with the same?
A lot of them are overweight. A lot of the generation now, those kids are heavy kids. And when I say heavy, not just a little bit chunky, I mean fat.
But even if they're not fat and they're not exercising, they're still not
That's true.
healthy.
They're not healthy.
They can be.
Right.
You know. So
Right. One other thing I thought about with getting old is losing weight. It is so difficult. And I guess maybe because I'm not mobile, it is so terribly
not only
difficult
you,
to
for
lose
all
weight.
of us.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, most of us have those spare tires,
Yes.
and it's not easy to get rid of because you sit there and say, well, I'm going to go out and exercise. Well, I'm going to go, and if you have treadmills or bikes or something inside, well, I'm going to do that. But tomorrow never get here.
That's the truth.
I mean, we always saying
always
we're
gonna procrastination. We are always, oh yeah, let me get, or I tell you another excuse I use. Let me get this done. And as soon as I get this done, then I'll have spare time. I'll be free and I can go on and do that. And guess what? I never get this done.
Never get to it. Yep. That's one of the things that we procrastinate a lot. We want to do some things. And you know, I have projects at home.
Okay, I do too.
And you know, I hardly ever get to them. I say I'm gonna do it, and especially when you're not working, you're always gonna do it later or tomorrow.
That's the truth.
And so sometimes I make myself go ahead and do some of the things. It's just like my garage. I always try to keep it so we can park our car. You notice I didn't say clean. We always keep our garage so we can put our cars in there. And so just last month, I bought appliances. So I said, well, I'm going to give the refrigerator to someone. So I'm going to put it in the garage. It was in there for about 3 weeks, and I said, I can't let it stay no longer than that, because if you do, it'll end up being in the garage.
Right.
So you have to make your list of your projects that you need to get done so that you won't say, and it don't get done.
That's true. I have several lists, and I'm working through them. You know,
That's the
like
best
you
thing.
said,
You said you're working through
I am working through them. Part of my problem is I'm on the floor, and it would be easier if I had some of these little young kids, but you know, you can't catch up with these young kids no more, so that I wouldn't have to get up and down, because I don't want to move it from here to there. I want to put it in the place that it goes in,
right.
Because if I move it from here to there, then I might as well just leave it right here.
Right.
And so when I get up and down a couple of times, then I'm tired, and then it stops.
Well, I'm determined that I have a few things more in the garage that need to go to Salvation Army or put it out on the curb or whatever. You know,
Sure.
You just have to make yourself do it. And I done got to that place, and it's one other thing that I have, and that's paper that need to be shredded.
Yes.
These are important papers that you don't want to put out in the recycle with your name, address, date, all this important information. So you want to shred it. And I got a box full that I've been saying I'm going to get it shredded.
And you know, that's the one thing. I get so much paper that when my paper comes, I shred it. I have a little box, probably about the size of a shoebox.
You shred it right there?
I shred a lot of it.
Okay.
I shred a lot of it. Usually I shred, Sunday is my shred day.
Oh, okay.
I have a little box, and I shred as much as I can. And then that's usually it used to be that I would have bags and bags of stuff to shred, because in this day of hackers and information being stolen, anything that has my name, address, or telephone number on it, I shred. Even goes to prescriptions, magazine articles, your information on it, anything. Even when I give the magazines away, I tear off my name and address.
And just for an example, this has been a few years, at least 10 or more years, that I used to not take the prescription off the bottle. I just put it in the recycle. That was a mistake, because I went to pick up my medication twice, and someone had picked it up before I got there. They said, you already picked up the medication.
Okay.
No, I haven't. Did it the second month? No. So they had to red flag it so that whoever was picking up medicine from my prescription
has to show ID.
Had to do something different. They didn't say what they did, but they stopped it.
Okay.
And so, but if you put your medication in the trash or in recycle, someone can go and take it and get your medicine before you.
Oh yeah, I think I'm fanatic, but I have driven down. I tell you exactly where I was. I was on 39th and Main, and there's that bank right there on the corner. And I was going to the pizza place right around in that area, and there was a man in the trash bin behind the bank. I don't know if he was employee or what, but it seemed to me that he was looking for information. Yeah, and you know, the one thing too, I think they take, getting this back to our senior citizens, I think they take advantage of senior citizens because they think that senior citizens are slow and they're not aware. And so they take more advantage of senior citizens. And so I think seniors have to be more careful.
Oh, yes, they do. Because that's what happened to you on your phones. That's why they always call and asking you different things. They already know you're a senior because they can look it up.
Sure.
Your age is they don't have the exact age like when you look on your phone. I can look and see
that she's between a certain range, between 60 and 65 or 65 and 70.
They have just so much information out there on you.
Oh, yeah. So, and, you know, one thing that really aggravates me is all of these companies, they want so much information. And it's to me, it's a frustration because they get all of this information. They want all of this information and they don't keep it secure. But when the problem comes up with the information, it's your baby. Then they push it aside because it's not their problem. It becomes your problem. And so I've gotten to the place, and this is just me, that anytime someone is asking me for more information than I want to give, and I feel like I don't want to, some places I know you might as well give them the correct information because they have access to it anyway. But somebody, like for instance, the library, for your password, they wanted you to use a birthday. I gave them an incorrect birthday. You know, since you want a birthday, let me give you one, but it's not correct because you already have too much information and you don't keep it secure. And so let me just give you what you want, even though I know it's not correct. You don't know it.
Right. Well, we're going to go and take a break, and we'll be back. And this has been Senior Moments with Millie and CC.
We got to talk in here, didn't we? I still got quite a bit left too, though. Okay. At least 5 minutes, and that'll give you a chance for the seniors. This is KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's global community radio station. Our subject today is Getting Old is Not for Wimps. We talked about a lot of the things that seniors have to deal with, but there are some things that we can do to help us prepare or enjoy our senior years. Some of the things we can do are stay physically active with regular exercise. We can stay socially active with family and friends. We can eat healthy, and by eating healthy, get rid of the junk food. You know, barbecue ribs are good and I like them, but ease up on the barbecue ribs because you can eat them now, but believe me, it catches up when you're older, including chitlins. You know, ease up on the chitlins, the pork. When you get to checkups, get your regular physical checkups, and that includes dental, because having problems with your teeth can also cause you to have health problems. And get your eyes checked. You know, maybe you can see, well, my problem is that I can see things half a mile away, but I can't read print without my glasses. And so it doesn't hurt to get your eyes checked. Well, limit your alcohol. Get sleep, get regular hours. Regular hours are good.
Yes. Yeah, and you know, it's a lot of things, like you said, you can do to help yourself growing older. And you can't just live your life so that try to live on that, burn the candle on both ends.
That's true.
And so go ahead with it.
Another thing, our generation is older because of the advances in healthcare and medical care. Both are allowing us to live longer. The key is to do it well, to live well. Some of the things that I could suggest, which I am doing, is to learn a new language. As our society becomes multicultural, it doesn't hurt. You know, you go any place, and I've been to Israel, these other countries, most of the people know at least 2 languages. Here in the United States, English is the main language, and I'm not saying you should not know English, but learn another language because it's good for your brain. Learn a new skill. Don't say, well, I'm old. I know so many people that say I'm old and I can't do that.
I'm old and I'm forgetful.
Oh, yeah.
Practice, not forgetting.
Practice it. Learn yourself a new skill. Learn how to do something. And then at the very bottom is take you a vacay. It don't have to be no month-long trip. It could just be a couple of days, and you don't have to go for it. Maybe you just have enough money to go to the local hotel where they got a swimming pool where you can just go and put your feet up. You don't have to see the housework that needs to be done, and you can look at TV. And if you feel like it, you can take a dip in the pool, or if they have a sauna or a shower, you can go get in the sauna or the shower. And so that's to me like a little mini vacay.
Yes, that always can help to give you something different that you're doing. And now I'm going to do spiritual moment. I'm going to do the verse, 2 Timothy chapter 1 and 9. Who has saved us and called us with an holy call, not according to our work, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in Christ Jesus before the world began. I thank you for for listening to Senior Moments, and this has been KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, the Kansas City Global Community Radio Station. If you want to call in to the radio station, it's 816-599-6893. Web is KUAW.org. Facebook is KUAW-LPFM 98.5. And TuneIn Radio is an app, so you can tune in to KUAW there.
All right. You've been listening to Senior Moments with your hosts, Millie and Cece. Join us every Tuesday at 2 p.m. for Senior Moments. Don't forget to make this a senior moment.
I can see I'm